So in this video, I'm going to do a basic introduction to the leads area within Microsoft Dynamics 365 for sales. Now, this is one in a series we're doing specifically on leads. You can see links to others in the series below. Also, if you've got any suggested content ideas or you need any help with Microsoft Dynamics, please see the links below. So let's dive into the system, and I'm in a sort of fairly out of the box Dynamics test system at the moment, and I've got the Dynamics test standard test data in here, perhaps along with the odd record I've added myself over time. And you can see from the left hand navigation bar I'm in the leads area, and specifically I'm in an all leads view. If I click on the drop down there, you can see I've got other system views of the leads in my system, but we're happy with all leads for the moment. And if we go into one of these records, let's pick Robin Counts as a record and open that up. This is a lead record. Now, it's worth saying this is highly configurable and will typically be set up to match your particular business processes. Now, it's probably worth explaining at this stage what is the lead area, because I think this is a little bit confusing. Just because you receive leads doesn't mean you need to use the leads area. So typically where you use leads is almost as a sort of staging area where you've got potentially dirty data coming to the system, and you really want to sort of review it before you commit it into the main system. That might be because you're getting quite a lot of spam leads, or leads from people who you can't buy from you. They're not in your particular marketplace. You don't want them in your system. Or you're getting good leads through, but the data is very incomplete at the point that you initially receive it, and you want to build up that data before you commit it into your main system. So kind of view leads as a sort of holding area. Now, in terms of how leads can come in, they can be created manually, then can be created through automation. So that may be through integration to your website. So if somebody fills out the inquiries form, that pushes a lead, that creates a lead record within the CRM system. Maybe you've got landing pages, somebody fills out a landing page, that can push a lead into the system. So there's automated ways of creating leads. You can also import leads into the system. So perhaps you've been to a trade show and you've been given a list of attendees. You might want to import that in. You know, some of those attendees are prospective customers, some of them aren't, and you want to be able to review that within the leads area before you sort of commit them to the system. You can also bring in leads through things like converting, say, email activities into leads. There's a sort of conversion function. So there's a number of ways leads can come into the system. Why is it important to track them? Primarily, I'd say if you can improve your lead management, then normally you'll improve your conversion rate from lead to order. And if you can improve that by a few percentage points, that can have a highly leveraged effect on the bottom line. Now, the reasons you're able to do that often are because if you've got better automation, slicker processes, you can sort of pick up and address your leads quicker, and the quicker you address them, typically the higher the percentage that you will close. Secondly, if you don't have good control of your leads, they tend to get sort of lead leakage. Perhaps leads don't pass quickly enough or pass at all from person to person or department to department as is needed. Perhaps leads don't always get addressed. You've probably experienced this yourself when you've reached out to organizations, made inquiries and not heard back from them. I think by getting that overall visibility of leads in terms of who's got them, what have they done with them, what's the status of them, that allows you to manage them a lot more efficiently, and you address that lead leakage issue. The third issue is that a lot of leads can be quite long term. So just because somebody's making contact now doesn't mean they're in a position to buy, and actually that buying decision might be some months, even some years down the line. Salespeople are quite immediate. They tend to sort of focus on the here and now, and they will struggle to sort of manage that sort of process of developing leads over time, which often is where marketing can step in with a sort of longer term lead nurturing program to make sure that they can get people in a position to buy for the long term. Now, those are some of the reasons why lead management is important. There are a number of others, but let's actually look at a lead record and consider the constituent parts. Now, the first thing you notice across the top here, I've got this process bar, and I've got a number of stages. Confusingly, perhaps, I think Microsoft have blended these stages into lead and opportunity stage. The qualifier is actually a stage on the lead record, the develop, propose, and close, and all these are changeable according to your particular requirements. They've got the qualified part on the lead record. Now, if I click on that, you can see the fields we're looking to capture as part of going through the lead management process. Identify if there's an existing contact already in the system and linking the lead to them, or identify if the account already exists in the system, and things like purchase time frame, estimated budget. These are the out-of-the-box ones. You typically tailor those to meet your specific need. So we've got that process bar element. If we just close out of that. Then we've got the fields that we want to capture about the lead. Again, these are configurable to your particular needs. We've got things like name, job title, phone number, the company they work for, etc., etc. I've got a activities area, activities timeline here, so I can add activities. Perhaps I'm going to send Robin an email. Perhaps we've had a phone conversation. I can record those activities against the lead record here. I've got a who knows who function, which surfaces common connections to that lead if there are any. I've got the ability to track decision makers and other stakeholders, as well as competitors that might be involved in that particular lead. That's my summary page. I've got a detailed page with a bit more information on it. I've got the ability out of the box to store files, etc. So that's the information we've got in the system at the moment, but we've obviously got the ability to capture whatever information suits your particular processes. So that can all be adapted. Now, as I said, think of leads as a sort of holding area or staging area if you make a decision on. So you've got the ability to disqualify a lead and give a reason for that. So you can see the reasons there. Again, that's configurable. If I disqualify that, those leads are not going to go into the system. Conversely, if I've looked at Robin's record, we've had some conversations, I'm happy that Robin is a legitimate lead, I've got the information I need from Robin, sort of filled out the information relating to his record, his contact record, his organisation record, I might now decide to qualify that lead. And when I qualify that lead, what it does is it converts the lead to a contact, an organisation or account record, and an opportunity record. So let me just do that and we'll see what happens. So it says it's going to create a new account record or organisation record called Consolidated Messenger, which was Robin's company. It's going to create a new contact record for Robin, and it's going to create a new opportunity record as well with that title. Now, there is some background configuration we can do to make creating opportunity, to stop that being mandatory and not stop it being created automatically. But out of the box, that creates an opportunity record for me. If I now qualify this, it'll go out and think about it for a moment or two. And it's going to say we've created a new account record, a new contact record, a new opportunity record. So if I finish that now and I go to Robin Counts record, so I can see that Robin's record has been created as a contact record, and I can see that Robin is linked to an organisation called Consolidated Messenger. If we go to that, I can see the related lead for this. If I scroll down in the related area and open up the all leads view, so I can see the originating lead, and I can also see the opportunity that's being created. and there's the opportunity record that was created through the lead. So hopefully that explains some of the basics of leads, how they can come into the system, how they're very much a staging area for conversion into your core system records of contact, account, and opportunity. I say it's one of the series we're going to do specifically on opportunity functionality. There's a link to others in the series below. Also, if you've got any suggested content ideas or you need any help with Microsoft Dynamics, please see the links below. Anyway, thank you very much for your time today, and hopefully see you again soon.